All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here. So, we have some key developments happening with Bitcoin now. In my video yesterday, I talked about us breaking this big ascending channel to the downside, and we closed the daily pretty much right at the candle. But I said usually when we close the daily right at the candle and we're not seeing a bounce, the next day we will see a pretty big aggressive flush down. And guess what? Within the next 8 hours, that's exactly what happened. We had a big flush down, and you can see here on the Coinbase chart, we flushed down to the flash crash low of that December 5th flash crash, and we made a double bottom here, which in my opinion is actually kind of a bearish signal, because if we would have SFP'd, if we would have came a little bit lower and grabbed the liquidity of these lows here, that would have been a more bullish signal than making a double bottom. Now, because we made a double bottom, we have twice the liquidity resting right below these. And then we also have the key 90.6, 90.7K SFP of this low here that I'm still watching for us to come take. And if we do a range pull from present day to the end of the parabolic pump price action, you can see, actually, it's not that one. It is the pull of the entire range here of this channel, all the price action of this ascending channel here. You can see the value area low of this range here is about 91K. That's right above that 91.1, 91.2. So what could happen is we could see another crash down, or another grind down to SFP these lows, close a 4 hourly candle at or above the value area high, and then see the reversal. But right now, I want to talk about this key back test happening right now on Bitcoin. So if we zoom into the 1 hour chart, you can see here, and I'm going to get rid of this range real quick. You can see that once we lost this channel, we were starting to form a sort of bear flag. You know, you see here's the pole, and then here was kind of the pennant, the flag that was happening. I could show you guys that. Let me zoom in onto the 30-minute chart. You can see kind of this price action that's happening here. If we go from the low, we were kind of forming something like this little channel here, or this little pennant, I guess you could call it, that was happening. And then when we broke that down, all right, that's, you get the idea. We had a big bear flag type of thing. We broke it down and we made a double bottom on that flash crash low, which is kind of a bearish signal to me. Now we came back up. We had a pretty aggressive buy, came back up today, and we're trying to get back, reestablish our price action, our trend within this channel that's been a key channel since November 12th. And you can see we hit here once, we rejected, we came up a second time, we SFP'd this morning's high, rejected again. Now we still are holding the VWAP, so we have some signs that this might maybe form a range here. We could, and now if we're looking at intraday or weekend price action, we could be forming a range in this little area here, where we could actually as well, if we wanted to. I'm going to go on to this chart because I think I already have this. Nope, I don't. But we could take a parallel channel and we could make this here, and this could be our range for the weekend, something like this here. And we might be just forming a horizontal range where we chop horizontally over the weekend. You can see it's already pretty nicely respected here. So that's something that I'm looking for over the weekend with low volume holiday weekend type of thing. We could range and then dump on Monday to SFP the 90Ks. But this going back to this back test here of this key channel. So we broke it to the downside. We double bottomed with the flash crash lows on December 5th. We're coming back up for what's called a bearish back test. When you lose a key trend, usually in a healthy market, you'll come back up to back test it to see whether you want to confirm the rejection. If we back test it like this, and then we reject, we confirm the rejection, we can expect more downside. Now, if we back test it, we've tried a couple times, we haven't been able to, but say we range for a little bit and then we're able to reestablish back within the channel, then we might see a move up. We could probably even see a move up to these highs here around 103K, you know, maybe up to this midline here, almost 104K, depending on how long it takes. And we could start to form an even bigger range of this little chunk of price action here. So that's something I'm going to be watching for over the weekend. But so far, Bitcoin is still showing bearishness because we cannot reclaim this channel that we lost. and we've tried 2 times on the lower time frames. We have not been able to. Now I'm going to zoom out to the 4-hour chart, and we're going to take a look at the range pull of just this from this last big high of the channel, the second big high of the channel to present. You can see that we're holding, we did wick below, but we're holding the value area low of this range, and that's kind of where we're trying to establish support in this range here and hold this range. Now, if I bring this range to the end of the parabolic price action here, yeah, we're still within the range, and that's the POC of this range. I believe on Bybit, it's a little bit different. Let's check it out on Bybit here. So it's pretty much the same. So the POC is a little bit higher. We're at resistance of the POC instead of support on Coinbase. It's acting as a support here right now. And on Bybit, it's acting as a resistance right now. So we're kind of in a very crucial decision-making zone for Bitcoin. But because and also I was talking about the 94K semi-dual lows that were here, we did not get the SFP of these lows. And that happened overnight while I was sleeping. So I didn't take any of that price action or anything like that. Didn't do a trade there. I also would have wanted to see us reclaim that, and it looked like we had a pretty aggressive wick down and a pretty aggressive buy back with this here within like a couple hours or so, you know, maybe 6 hours. So right now we are holding within this range. We're trying to hold the value area low of this range, but I do suspect that we could come lower. Now, if I zoom out, I'm going to zoom back out. Let's go onto the daily chart here, and I'm going to go to this channel. You can see here, let me hide some of this stuff for you guys. Okay, so there's a couple key things that I have marked out here. We have our last range that we were in, this last reaccumulation range that we were in for about 7 months. And we know those 70K, that 70K value area high to like about 72K is going to be a very, very crucial retest if we do drop that far. But we play trading level to level. So right now, we're losing this channel. I talked about this yesterday on the daily. If we close the daily right below it, our next daily candle is probably going to be a big flush down to take the liquidity. Well, we did see a big flush down, but we did not take the liquidity. We double bottomed this flash crash wick on December 5th here. And not that one here. And we did not take the 90.6K liquidity. So to me, that's showing me that this trend can continue. You can also see here on Market Cipher B, we did have the bearish divergences confirmed. The money flow is starting to roll down. I do think we might be able to come down to 90.6K at least and SFP these lows. If this doesn't work, if we don't SFP these lows, the next big level of support, well, first of all, if we go back to the 4-hour chart in this channel, the beginning of the liquidity from this channel is this key low here, and this, yeah, right here. This to me, this 85K is a pretty big area of support because as well, if we go onto the daily chart, you can see that we do have a daily level that's really close. It's about 87K. So it's more of a zone of support here, but 87.3 to 85K could be a zone of support where we come back down. If we don't SFP this, then this is a level of support I would be looking for, something like in this area here. And I do believe if we do a golden pocket retrace pull, a fib pull from this last low on the daily to the high, yeah, the golden pocket's a little bit below that too. So I wouldn't be extending this box to there. That's too big of a zone for me. So I would take them as separate trades. But we do have some levels to look at. You know, we're going to be paying attention to this 85K low, take the whole liquidity of this last range of this whole kind of vertical accumulation that's been happening, or this vertical distribution that's been happening, level to level. So we're going to go look at that 90.6K first. If we SFP, now we have double liquidity resting down below here at the 92K level. If we take that and then also SFP this 90.6K at the same time, that would be really fantastic. We could get a move up from there. And then, you know, at that point, I'm just going to do a theoretical fib pull. We would go from our high, say we came down to like 90K here. Then we would look for our golden pocket, or we could even look for a of 0.5, because if this could be a bigger ABC correction. So we could do something like an A, a B, and then a C would be coming down to like 72, 74K, something like that. And in that case, I would probably want to see the A come down to 87. Of course, that would change our fib pool to our theoretical fib pool. So we're going to look at that when the time comes. Right now, Bitcoin is probably going to start ranging for the weekend. It's a low volume holiday weekend, and it is still in the value. It's still holding the value area of this range here. So until it loses it, we might see sideways price action and maybe another push up to make a lower high before coming to take that. But I am more in the bias that we are going to come take these 90.6K lows. Okay, so going to total market cap. Total market cap is still holding this pitchfork midline that I was looking at, but in yesterday's video, I showed you guys how I was wanting a move down to SFP the liquidity of these key double lows here into the pitchfork midline, and we did get the SFP into the pitchfork midline, but you can see that we didn't get much of a bounce. We pretty much got no bounce at all, and then we flushed through it. Now we were able to reclaim it pretty quickly, and we are holding above it. So right now, it is still holding as support. And we could chop around here over the weekend, kind of just chop around above this. Now, if we make another move down on Bitcoin and alts bleed as well, I've had this box here marked out for a long time because this box is a key crucial support. It's the lower band of the pitchfork. I do believe it was a golden pocket as well. If we do a golden pocket pull from the last big move up, let me get rid of that. So if we go here to the top and we go to golden pockets, yes. Okay, so we have the golden pocket of the last big daily push up, that last big daily push up in confluence with the pitchfork band, and it's also the liquidity pretty close to the SFP liquidity grab of these lows as well, of this vertical accumulation that we saw. So I wouldn't be surprised if we chop here for maybe even a week or two, maybe till after Christmas, see something like, let me get this, we kind of see something, chop around here for a little while and then come down, boom, into this level, and then make our big push back up. It's something to be watching for. So we do have the weekly bearish divs. We have the daily 4 drives of daily bear divs. First drive, second drive, third drive, fourth drive, higher highs as this is happening, confirmed. Money flow is starting to go down. We were expecting this based off of these higher time frame divs. Eventually they do play out. That's why when I made a video, one of my first videos on the channel that I made, I was talking about this key resistance band here and to take profits on your alts, because also we were at the top on the total 3 chart. We were at the top of this key pitchfork, and I was saying, you guys, we need to watch for, this is the level to start taking profits, to watch for a correction to the downside. Not the end of the bull market, just a correction to the downside. Now, some interesting developments on this total 3 chart. We lost the band. We came back down and we did the same thing that we did on Bitcoin. We kind of made a double bottom here of these lows, which to me is kind of a bearish signal. We have twice the liquidity resting. So I wouldn't be surprised if I zoom in here on the 4-hour chart. I would not be surprised if for altcoins we have a little bit of a bounce over the weekend, maybe some ranges form, and then we continue down and come down either to, actually the first thing we'd want to do is we want to reject from there and actually come down to touch the pitchfork midline and to SFP those lows, and then we could see if we're going to come higher, because we do have the double lows, double liquidity resting below that now. So we should be looking for a lower high on altcoins. If you didn't take profit, this might be a level where you could take profit and then bring it down here and start thinking about buying around the midline. And of course, you would want to go into whatever alt you're looking at to see if it's matching support, if it's at its support on its price action of its chart, as well as this total market cap. So that's kind of my update for today. Hope that helps. It's just going to be a quick one. You guys, I do have some family coming down for holiday season, and this next week I'm pretty much going to be relaxing and enjoying the whole week with the family, but I will try to keep you updated on everything. Let me know if you guys have any altcoins or any suggestions, and you have a good Christmas.